In our very first story, the East Legon District Police Commander has revealed police discovered more than 20 spent shells in the vicinity of the shooting incident which occurred during the recent Ayawaso West Wuogon by-election here in Accra. DSP George Asari's testimony to the Emil Short Commission on Friday is in sharp contrast to what the National Security Minister told the Commission probing the disturbances on Thursday. The Commission also heard from Director General of Police Operations DCOP George Mensah and Electoral Commission Chairperson Jean Mensah, who confirmed though there was a confrontation between some national security operatives and a police officer on voting day, the officer was not assaulted. There is more in the following report.
EC Chair Jean Mensah, who was the first to testify, told the Commission her office is unable to corroborate claims by Observer Group Codeo that a police officer was assaulted by a national security coordinator on the day of voting.
Unfortunately, I have to say yes. I'll have to say yes. Because as I've maintained, there were no armed masked men at the polling stations. Our reports from the presiding officers at the prisons indicate that there was no alleged assault. There was no assault on the policeman. We have the contacts of the police officers who were there. We also have the report from the regional commander, who after his investigation has also provided us with a report saying that there was no assault on any policeman there.
She insisted that Ayawaso West Wuogon by-election was peaceful as far as the EC is concerned.
There was peace in the polling stations.
So, if I get you right, you are putting on record that as far as security is concerned, the Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency by-election was peaceful.
As far as the polling stations are concerned, we are well aware that, there was violence erupted in the house of, the candidate of the National Democratic Congress. But I'm saying that as far as the polling stations, the 137 polling stations are concerned, there was no violence there and there was peace in the 137 polling stations.
The Director General in charge of operations at the Ghana Police Service, DCOP George Mensah, got several mentions during Thursday's hearing on account of his interactions with journalists about the presence of masked national security operatives on voting day. When he took his turn, he was emphatic the operatives were unknown to him.
Lord, I know that there is an attachment of policemen at the national security.
Beyond the attachment, you don't know anything else?
No, my Lord.
You don't know they are the ones called the SWAT team?
My Lord, for now, I know that they are the ones they are referring to as SWAT team.
No, I'm not asking for now. I'm asking, is it something that you know as DG operations?
My Lord, what I know is that we attach policemen to certain units, including the national security, and they use them for their operations.
Have you ever had occasion to call upon the SWAT team to assist mainline police operations?
No, my Lord. No, my Lord.
When you attach these people to the various units, who controls them?
My Lord, once we attach you to a unit, operationally you are under that unit. You are controlled by that unit.
He added the police branded vehicles that conveyed the operatives to the Bawaleshi Park were also not known to be part of the police fleet.
No, my Lord. What I've found out is that that vehicle is not part of the vehicles under my command.
Is there any reason for that belief?
Lord, the belief referring to?
I mean, you are very sure that that vehicle is not part of your fleet?
Yes, my Lord.
Yes, and I'm asking you, what informs that? What makes you so sure?
Because I know the fleet of vehicles under the National Operations Department.
The East Legon District Commander DSP George Asari, after telling the Commission how he felt surprised to have been sidelined in the operational plan for the by-election within his jurisdiction, said he was subsequently co-opted when the disturbances began.
My Lord, ideally, the district commander in whose jurisdiction the by-election is supposed to be held should be part of the exercise. But in my case, that they had a call around 9 o'clock from my regional commander who didn't make me part of the exercise, that he has heard that some shootings are going on around Bawaleshi, closer to the NDC parliamentary candidate's house. So I should go and assist.
Though National Security Minister Kandapa had on Thursday told the commission the SWAT team had fired 6 warning shots, DSP Asari said they found in excess of 20 empty shells.
There were many, my lord.
Many?
If I'm not mistaken, they were holding them. If I'm not mistaken, it will be over 20 per what I saw.
Okay. And were you able to find out the source of these empty shells? Who had, fired these gunshots? The empty shells that you saw, were you able to detect?
I inquired, but the information they gave me was that they were fired by the task force team that came there.
The National Security Ministers had suggested the warning shots fired by the National Security operatives were in response to gunshots emanating from the property owned by the NDC parliamentary candidate. DSP Asari, however, said he was given a different account.
We're there, and then the security men approached them. That why have you parked these motorbikes here? And one of the security men wanted to take one of the motorbikes, and the people said no. And that was what degenerated into all those.
The commission will continue with its hearing on Monday.
Meanwhile, a directive by the Speaker of Parliament for the National Security and Interior Ministers to appear before the House over the Ayawaso West Wuogon by-elections has become irrelevant following the establishment of the Commission of Inquiry. That's according to Majority Chief Whip in Parliament, Amea Chairman. He was responding to a question by North Tong MP Samuel Kujoto Ablakwa on behalf of the Majority Leader during the reading of the business statement for next week.
There is an outstanding matter. The Majority Chief Whip had assured us last week, had given us the indication that it may be possible to get the Ministers of National Security and the Minister of the Interior to brief us on the unfortunate developments at the Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency by-election. That did not happen. This week. I do not know if there is an explanation for that, but we all know that a colleague of ours was also caught in the melee, and it should not be seen as though we do not care about what happens to members of this House or our colleagues. So if the Majority Chief Whip can apprise us with where that application is, so far as that matter is concerned.
It is true that the first Deputy Speaker, who was in the chair, made a directive that the Ministers of Interior and National Security may be invited to brief the House. But consequent upon that, a commission of inquiry has been set up, and the Minister for Interior, the IGP, and other security operatives also met the Defense and Interior Committee of this House and briefed them. We do not know if it is still relevant for the two ministers to appear before the House and do a briefing of House. The Commission of Inquiry has begun the inquiry into what happened in Ayawaso West. And already the ministers of National Security and Interior have appeared before the Commission and made statements to them.
Well, still to come in the bulletin, as the cedi continues its depreciation against the country's major trading currencies, Ghanaian state for foreign goods is being highlighted as one of the key factors.
Look at the food bill. Ghana imports close to $2 billion a year of food, which Ghana could grow.
It turns out, though, some Ghanaians are not prepared to drop their preference for foreign goods, even though there may be local substitutes.
Quality. If I am to get Calvin Klein shoes, you understand, it will last, let's say, for 2, 4, 5 years. But if I'm to go to Kumasi right now to buy a shoe, believe you me, how long is it going to last for me?
Stay tuned, we'll be back in a bit. The perennial discussions about the depreciation of the Ghana cedi has been revived in the last few days after the current currency crossed the 5 cedi to the dollar mark. A US dollar will give you 5 Ghana cedis, 30 pesos as of Friday. The conversation about the currency is important because each time the cedi loses value, virtually everything you spend on costs more, which is why prices of goods and services keep rising all the time. Though the Bank of Ghana intervenes, often by injecting more dollars into the system to address the demand and supply problem, it is only a temporary fix. World Bank Country Director Henry Kirali is one of those who believes Ghana's import bill is part of the problem.
I think there are also pressures from imports. Ghana could import less. If we look at the food bill, Ghana imports close to $2 billion a year of food, which Ghana could grow. So these are some of the challenges that I think, as Ghanaians, you and other Ghanaians could begin to look at is, do we need to be eating imported rice when we can grow rice in Ghana, as an example.
The following news desk report looks at why reducing imports could help strengthen the Ghana cedi. It turns out, though, not many are prepared to give up their preference for foreign goods.
Ghana imports virtually everything from toothpicks, food, water, and even foodstuffs such as tomatoes and plantain. Take the case of Nanama, for instance.
I'm interested. What you're wearing, is it made in Ghana?
No, it's not made in Ghana.
What about your shoes? Made in Ghana?
My slippers is made in Ghana.
Okay, and what are your earrings?
I don't think it's made in Ghana.
Your hair is made in Ghana?
Yes, it's made in Ghana.
The wool?
No, it's not made in Ghana.
Okay. What did you have for lunch, by the way?
I had rice.
Which kind of rice?
I don't know whether it's local.
It's perfumed rice?
I think so.
Casio, yeah, this is a Casio watch. This is not Ghana made.
Yes, it does. It's not Ghana made.
It's not Ghana made. You're wearing a shirt. It's not Ghana made.
Yeah, it's not Ghana made.
What about your bag and everything?
Everything is not Ghana made.
See that you're wearing a shirt. Yeah. It's not probably made in Ghana.
Sure.
What about what you're wearing? Is everything made in Ghana?
Yes, I think the shoe I'm wearing
it's made in Ghana.
Yes.
Now, each time those who import these items make purchases, they need foreign currency. And with the dollar being the most widely accepted international currency, the Ghanaian importers tend to need more of the dollar to bring in rice, oil, sugar, and vehicles and other spare parts. Ghanaian exporters, on the other hand, are paid in dollars when they sell local items abroad. It is the dollars the country earns from export which are used to buy items from abroad. But because we don't earn as much from our export, we can't have enough dollars to import what we need. There's always a shortage of dollars, which then means we have more cedis chasing the few dollars in circulation. This high demand for the dollar naturally makes it more expensive when being exchanged for the cedi. The country's over-reliance on imports also means we are taking money from Ghana to pay wages of the workers in the foreign countries where the goods come from, instead of keeping that wealth here in Ghana. But is the Ghanaian consumer willing to change their preference for foreign products? We put this question to Richard, Michael, and Nanama.
In terms of quality, if I am to get Calvin Klein shoes, you understand, it will last, let's say, for 2, 4, 5 years. But if I'm to go to Kumasi right now to buy a shoe, believe you me, how long is it going to last for me?
Oh yes. We need to kill this idea of everything from Western is good. I think we have very good things here that we need to really patronize.
Those who sell the perfumes are the ones we know a lot. So I go and I buy my rice and I just come and eat it.
But what about your outfit? Would you ever want to change and do local, strictly local?
You see, local dresses, I mean, you buy the cloth, you go and sew them, and it's costly. But this is already sewn, you just go and patronize it. So
it's, however, not Nanama, Richard, or Michael alone whose taste for foreign goods is causing the depreciation of the Ghana cedis. Each V8 imported into the country to perform tasks that could be performed by less costly vehicle helps to further depreciate the currency. The massive amount of fuel used by these vehicles also add to the city's woes. So now, each time you buy a foreign item, which has a local substitute, or you see that V8 Land Cruiser zip past you in traffic, you know why the city is on a constant decline.
Now, recent developments in Ghana's financial sector appears to have moved a considerable number of people into finding new ways to save their incomes. With many having their funds locked up in one financial institution or another, piggy banks are becoming the in thing for the not-so-rich. Though not supported by any known studies, those who make the Susu box say they are having to sell more units than they ever have. Joy News' Emmanuel Juvenu has been engaging some of them as well as those going in for the boxes.
Right in the heart of the Malamata market in Accra are young men busy cutting up paper tubes into different lengths to make piggy banks, the Susu box as we've now come to know it. 19-year-old Michael Obofo dropped out of school due to financial constraints. He often goes for the paper tubes from a Chinese firm.
Yeah, unso mo print we are at times we nya no China for box ni dey you cover we ni ba we na ya na wa tenten pa we no yeah I wa tenten pa na ya twitwa ti the so ni ya twitwa mu bibia e wo machines bibia de ya adwuma we na dey grow na dey dey atitasin abobo so yeah na dey atare e bi di say ye twa ho no and the US twa ho no ye we na machine na dey achi ho ti ochi hu we na ya dey ye twa no.
Michael had to travel to Accra for a job, but was not so lucky. Instead, he found himself making Susu boxes for people with livelihoods looking to put something away for a rainy day. He says an increasing number of people are taking up the rainy day challenge in recent months.
Money boss na ebe they can be d mates be ye jaye no na nyankopon so ye den ibe ya adwuma ma ya adwun bi se we no ade no printing press for we omo ayiwa o tinya omo kire se we no omo de ye money boss e mo se bang na aba no we dey ska koto ho kompo se wo kobo wo ko pay campa ya ade abla sika wo ko pa omo be se na ye den aka se we hu accountant ya tu kwan manager ni ho say be we dey unya kase ni bi show den na se o save dia you be so wait my that tally. Yeah. You know bang in the amount force council here day.
Kweku Somwa works with a private security firm by night and hawks the Susu boxes during the day. He confirms business has been good.
Maybe 100 pieces in Koye, the Toya Cabase 11. Any grandpa no besan kwa djuma me ko security kan sa dia nka me sansan kama ba sisi an mabai de oye ma me no ye awie ne dia me be me command be de say bia 2.5 am for 1.5 ntia ye ni san say on say box no obo use that doa obo use ne ma padlock ni we mi na to ano ndi we ni so no easy we ni de ko Chinese for na ko fa we na auto proud to so pa utwa no a we ono mani jiwe no ho chen box no omo to no omo pe we ni chen box no so omo hu bi dan to bi hu a oji hwe ni din oji ka say etwene ana nto hwa na omo je so box pa o se ma me mienu obi o se ma me nsa bi o se ma ba ko up to now kwa bi kwa hu bi da ohu oji mi hwa ga se ye den me se bi money box to je hwa o se ma ba ko e me fe pa no to no.
Tina Chum hawks sachet water and also prepares spaghetti dishes at the market. She cites recent challenges in the financial sector for her decision to get the paper tube Susu boxes.
They're asking me that why I didn't save in the bank. Because of, I can't save. What I'm hearing, I'm afraid. I can't go and save in the bank. I will save in my room. Because I saved in the bank before. And I didn't get my money. If I go up and down, I can't get my money again. So I can't do anything again. So I must always buy Susu box and save my money inside. But this is a business in Ghana now.
Is this safe saving in the Susu?
It's not safe, but how you go do? My brother, it's not safe to save money in this thing. It's not safe to save money in this thing. But how you go do? It's not safe. But if I save them, sometimes I can save coins. I can buy like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I save one for here, coins here, 1 CD here, 5 CD here. The end of the day, I forget. I'll come and pack all. I can go and manage and pay my children this thing, school fees small.
The Susu boxes are not that expensive. For as little as 3 CDs, one could get a box.
We need to see the amount 2 CD. Yeah, now the 5 CD. Bit to say we no more. Yeah, we need 5 CD. We need 2 CD. And we need to see waiting the amount 15 CD and 10 CD. Was so oh, we need the amount 7 CD.
Mr. Suma says he is hoping to make enough to put up a building in his hometown.
The manager will discover to bank. Now the corner. The city bank in a good. Now on Zan can. Never for anybody so this can go to bank. So, and we will also say, over whenever I go to church. You have to run 20 minutes or be man. Now be delayed in time or I don't know, you told or yeah, or point 20 Ghana. Send me away 4. My feelings are 4. It is war. But then talk, you could talk blow.
The patrons of the Susu boxes know very well they won't earn any interest on the monies they stash in these cylinders. But they say, considering having to walk to the bank and having to deal with the attitudes of unwelcoming staff and the possibility of your funds being locked up, the convenience of a Susu box puts it in a comfortable lead over sending your money to the bank. Emmanuel Givenus report for Joy News.
Well, interesting report there. Now, there have been some interesting statements made by some of the witnesses who have appeared so far before the Short Commission probing the Ayawaso West Wuogon by-election disturbances. We'll share some of those quotable quotes with you this evening, starting with this one made by the Interior Minister Ambrose Derry. So he says, I don't interfere in police operations. I didn't employ the masked men. I can confirm masked men were not under my ministry. Vehicles used by masked men don't belong to Ghana Police. And then he continues, masked men were not from Ghana Police Service. Vigilantism is illegal and must be dealt with. We need support of citizens to end vigilantism, police to come out with strategy to counter vigilantism, and history of Boko Haram should warn us of what can ultimately be. Up in business, government to certify procurement officials as a way to curb corruption in the purchasing process. President Akufo-Addo has described as unacceptable the low level of development in the northern part of the Western region, despite the area's huge contribution to the Ghanaian economy. According to him, despite the abundance of minerals and food resources, the area lags behind and promised to tackle it. Presenting the constitutional instrument to legally recognize the area as the newly created Western North region, President Akufo-Addo indicated government will move swiftly to address the poor road network there and construct more schools to deal with the low enrollment.
My government is committed to the growth, progress, and success of Western North region, and we will make sure that this happens. As is the case for other newly created regions, I've taken the decision to appoint the current Minister for the Western region, the Honorable Dr. Kwaku Afriyie, MP for Sefwi-Wiawso, as caretaker minister for Western North region until a substantive appointment is made. Sefwi-Wiawso has also been chosen as the capital of the new region. I want to assure the residents of the region, however, that government projects and structures will be equitably spread across the region. As I thank you for your presence here, and I urge you to put your shoulders to the wheel and ensure that the popular will of the people, with the creation of Western North, leads to an enhancement in the quality of lives of its residents.
The Western North region, which Sifiri as its capital, has 10 administrative districts. President of the Western Region House of Chiefs, Ojia Hoho Yao JB, called for economic exploitation of the natural resources available in the area.
The challenge for us now is to stay together and work in unity to accelerate the socio-economic development of the new region. We need to add value to the enormous resources in the region for rapid development. For example, in collaboration with other investors, we can process the huge bauxite waste into brick and tile and other byproducts. We can use the same bauxite to produce alum, and we can also generate power from the tons of cocoa huts which go waste every year. So this is a challenge. We should come together and rather look for investors so that we can add value to whatever resources that we have there.
Meanwhile, Dambai is the capital of the newly created OT region. President Akufo-Addo signed and delivered to the chiefs constitutional instrument 112 to officially declare the region legally created, which now brings the number of regions in the country to 16. Perhaps the most controversial of all the new regions, OT dominated the news for several weeks due to the strong opposition mounted by some residents from the southern part of the Volta region, from which the OT region was carved. But President Akufo-Addo is preaching peace and unity among inhabitants in the region.
Already, government has allocated this year an amount of 20 million cedis as seed capital for the development of OT region. Again, I have taken the decision that Dr. Archibald Letcher, OT Letcher the first, the current minister for the Volta region, will act as caretaker minister for the OT region until a substantive appointment is made. Dambai has been chosen as the capital for the OT region. I want to assure the residents of the region, however, the government projects and structures will be equitably spread across the region. The rest of your compatriots across Ghana expect that your relations with the chiefs and people of the Volta region will be characterized by mutual sentiments of magnanimity and goodwill.
Dambai, which is located on the eastern coast of the Volta Lake, beat off competition from Jasekang and Karachi for the capital. It is reputed to be the fastest growing town in the OT area. Health Minister Kwaku Agyeman-Manu says the University of Ghana Medical Health Center will be fully operational by the end of the year. The NPP government had not opened the facility after it took over from the NDC for more than a year prompting public backlash. After several months of controversy, the facility was opened on July 18, 2018 for specialized outpatient services. Mr. Agyeman-Manu says work is ongoing to make the facility fully operational.
Financial clearance for engaging medical and non-medical staff for the hospital has now been obtained from the Minister of Finance to roll out the first batch of recruitments. The financial clearance received so far authorizes the center to engage 130 medical and non-medical staff for the center. An additional 270 professionals will be engaged, Mr. Speaker, in 2019. The initial financial clearance obtained in 2015 was domiciled with the University of Ghana under the Ministry of Education. This required that special arrangements needed to be made to transfer the financial clearance from the Ministry of Education to the Ministry of Health. We have gone a very, very long way on the University of Ghana Medical Center issue. Where we are now, some actions have been taken and certain services, though limited, are being provided in the facility. By close of the year, we will see close to 100% operationalization of the entire facility. And I believe that when that happens, all of us will benefit, like he's anticipating that is good for all of us. We will not let it sit there idly. We will work hard to make sure that the nation gets the best out of that facility.
Well, Parliament has summoned Gender and Social Protection Minister Cynthia Morrison over the abuse meted to a 5-year-old boy who has lost their hand after the stepmother cut him with a machete. Kumbungu MP Ras Mubarak drew the attention of the House to the incident which happened at Ebura Dunkwa in the Central Region. He also complained about the setting ablaze of an 11-year-old boy in Bolgatanga for peeping at a naked woman. He called for action to stem such abuses, and the Speaker, in response, directed the Minister appears before the House to brief MPs on how it can be stopped.
Many Kenyans read with shock recent reports about a 5-year-old boy from Ebura Dunkwa who lost his left hand from a machete wound he sustained from his stepmother. 5-year-old Isaac Mensah's crime was that he had defecated on the farmland, and out of anger, the stepmother hit him with a machete. The injured hand festered, resulting in an amputation at the Cape Coast Regional Hospital in the Central Region. Just when the nation was reeling from this shock of the abhorrent attack on Isaac Mensah and his subsequent amputation, we were greeted with news of another evil treatment of a child by adults. In Bolgatanga, Mr. Speaker, an 11-year-old boy, Maxwell Ayimbisa, was set ablaze for allegedly peeping at a woman in a bathroom. Maxwell, who apparently wasn't the one who did the peeping, was sent to buy petrol. And when he returned, a group of adults, led by one Nsombela John, took the petrol from him, poured it on him, and set him ablaze.
The Honourable Minister should endeavour to appear before this Honourable House next week, Wednesday, or so soon thereafter, and give us a full explanation on the specific abuses herein mentioned. Furthermore, the statement is referred to the newly established legal department to examine any loopholes there may be in this law and for the House to advise itself thereon. The Committee on Gender, Children and Social Inclusion should take a serious view of this matter and report to the House 2 weeks from today.
Health authorities in the Ashanti region are reporting increased epilepsy infections in hospitals and facilities. Over 2,600 cases were recorded across the region last year, up from 1,498 in 2017. Adansi South District leads the chart with 732 victims, mostly children. Nane Ajima witnessed observance of World Epilepsy Day in Kumasi and filed this report.
Poor antenatal care is among factors identified by authorities for rising trend of epilepsy, especially among children. Care seekers are said to turn to prayer camps and other religious centers for help because they spiritualize the disease. Dr. Ruth Osu Entry is head of psychiatry at Konfanochi Teaching Hospital. She tells Love News until public attitude to the epilepsy changes, the number of victims will continue to rise.
The treatment is very affordable, very accessible, very effective. So people should forget about the stigma and go for help. If they get to the right places for help, they will get the right treatment. If I say the right places, it is in the health facilities. Don't go to the prayer camps, don't go to the the malams, don't go to the, don't go and get some concoctions or some herbals to mix and take. Go to the health facility and you'll get the right treatment for epilepsy.
Dr. Osu Entry says the traditional way of inserting spoons in the mouth of people with seizure is wrong.
First of all, remove every harmful object around the person from the person so that they don't injure themselves, they don't hit their head. And there is something we call ABC. Check whether the person is, the airway is free, whether they are breathing, whether the circulation is intact, and then put them on their side, what we call the recovery position, so that after the seizure, you can be there to give them support or take them to the nearest health facility.
Last year, psychiatric nurses were trained and deployed into communities to help Ghanaians fight against the disease. Reducing the treatment gap and disease burden remain challenges in the Ashanti region. Regional Mental Health Coordinator Faustina Nyako wants government and individuals to commit more resources for public education.
The number is increasing. It's really increasing, especially when you go to Adansi South. They are having the highest number, and you can see that it's due to what? Their poverty. When they are pregnant, instead of them going to antenatal, they don't go. When they give birth, they are in the house, immunization and that, they don't do it. So we need sponsors, and so that we can educate them on the causes of epilepsy, so that they will refrain from things which lead to it, and it will reduce their number.
That'll be all for the bulletin. My name is Israel. Thank you very much for watching. You have a good night.
This is Joy News Prime.